Hey everyone, welcome back to Arkham Horror, the card game. We're in the Dunwich Legacy campaign, and we're on Scenario 5, Undimensioned and Unseen. Everyone's favorite scenario. Yeah. That's a joke. Let's get into it, shall we? Your search of the village of Dunwich has uncovered a number of documents, journal entries, and esoteric theories. Reading through these materials leaves you exhausted and emotionally drained. Most of the content was written by a single source, a man named Seth Bishop. When you ask around town, you learn that Seth is a citizen of Dunwich. Along with several others, Seth had witnessed firsthand the devastation wrought by the events of the Dunwich Horror, as Armitage had dubbed the incident. Curiously, since that time, very few people had seen Seth around town, and those who did claimed his eyes had been bloodshot and his face sweaty and pale. You don't doubt that somebody who has seen what Seth has seen would appear nervous or paranoid. But the more you read of his frantic and unhinged writings, the more you believe he is involved in recent events. His writings speak of having, quote, gathered the remains, and of using arcane methods to, quote, imbue the Father's essence onto other creatures, and eventually into other people. The explanations and diagrams that follow are unfathomably complex and defy understanding. Before you're able to find Seth and confront him, several men and women from the village approach you with a panic. "It's back!" one of them wails. You recognize him as Curtis Whately of the Undecayed branch. Whatever it was that killed them fries, it's back. Up and smashed the bishop's home like it were made of paper. Curtis and the other townsfolk are clamoring amongst themselves, raising their voices in a panic. The investigators must choose one. Let's try to calm down the townsfolk. You aim to calm the townsfolk so they can explain to you what is going on. They inform you that there was a rumbling to the north, and when they went to investigate, they found the bishop's farmhouse had been torn to shreds. A trail of heavy tracks led to nearby Cold Spring Glen. You know what to do, right? You Arkham folk stopped that thing last time, one of the townsfolk says. Curtis shakes his head and bites his lip. "We couldn't even see that hellish thing until the old professor sprayed that there powder on it," he says. "To this day, I wish I hadn't seen it at all. Something must be done to stop the monster's rampage, but if the documents you found are true, there may be more than one such creature on the loose." Recording your campaign log that you calmed the townsfolk. Okay. Calmed the townsfolk. What does this X button do? Oh, it's a token remover. Okay. Continue to set up. Gather all the cards from the encounter sets. Done. Put one of the two versions of the following locations into play at random. Now, is there a button? Let's see. There was a button on the last one. Is there a button on this one to place locations? Yeah. Undimensioned and Unseen. So we put one of the two versions of the following locations into play. Each investigator begins play at Dunwich Village. So I think if I hit this setup button, it'll randomly take one for me. And if I click move Broods, if I don't touch the Broods, actually, I don't know what the move Broods will do. Maybe it'll just shuffle this. I don't know. Anyway. We begin play at Dunwich Village. Check the number of names recorded under sacrifice to Yog-Sothoth. There were 3. Warren, Earl, and Zebulon. If there are exactly 3 names listed, put 1 copy of Brood of Yog-Sothoth into play at Cold Spring Glen. And set 2 copies aside out of play, then remove the final 2 copies from the game. So 2 set aside and 2 removed from the game. Set each copy of Esoteric Formula side out of play. An investigator with the Powder of Ibn Ghazi in their deck may search their deck for it and start with it in play. Well, that's in Lily's deck. Oh, I forgot to put it on Arkham DB. I'll just go grab it. That is in Lily's deck. She starts with it in play, and it enters play with X clues on it, where X is the number of characters who survived. That was 2. Armitage and Morgan. Then, each investigator searches the collection for a random basic madness, injury, or pact weakness and adds it to their deck for the remainder of the campaign. Well, that's fantastic. I need... Let's see. Let's see if there's a website that'll do this. Arkham Random Weakness Generator. Let's see. There is. Get random weakness. That's a flaw. That's an enemy. That's an enemy. Hypochondria. That was for Lily. She's the lead investigator. All right, we'll go get a hypochondria. That's in Lily's deck. And random weakness. Psychosis. That's the opposite of hypochondria. That's for Darrell. Okay, and I'm going to put those in my decks on Arkham DB too. Okay. Decks are updated on Arkham DB. Is that the end of the setup? Yep, shuffle the remainder of the encounter deck, or encounter cards to build the encounter deck. Rampaging creatures. Reports of terrifying entities wreaking havoc across the countryside have caused the citizens of Dunwich to panic. Worse, the creatures seem to be invisible to the naked eye. Forced at the end of the enemy phase, move each brood of Yog-Sothoth enemy once towards a random location. A Saracenic script? How do you pronounce that word?
Saracenic.
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 Saracenic script.
Saracenic.
The monsters tearing through Dunwich County are immune to traditional weapons. Only by reciting a particular incantation can the creatures be defeated. First, you must search the ruins of Wilbur Whately's home in order to find the final sections of the otherworldly script. Only investigators at Whately Ruins may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. 2 investigator, which is 4. Skulls are -1 for each brood of Yog-Sothoth in play. Cultist to reveal another token. If you fail, take a horror. Tablet 0 is you must either remove all clue tokens from a brood of Yog-Sothoth in play, or this token's modifier is -4 instead. And squid is -3 if this token is revealed during an attack or evasion attempt against a brood of Yog-Sothoth. It immediately attacks you. Fun. Okay. We're at Dunwich Village. I need to get my deck, my hands from my deck. No hypochondria. Yoink. First aid could be useful here. I've got a brand, which is a weapon. You know. I might just keep this opening hand. I've got Francis Morgan to pump my fist. I've got it's a spell. It's not a weapon, but it is a way to fight. Drawn to the Flame is very good. Ward of Protection is very good. Yep, I'm just going to keep those cards. Whoops. And Darrell. No Overzealous for you. No Psychosis for you. Mariner's Compass is good. Madame LeBranche is good. Research Notes. This would be the first time I've ever played Research Notes. And at combos with Bizarre Diagnosis. I'd get an evidence on this on this card. I could play the Truth Beckons turn 1 and get all the way to Whately Ruins. I don't know if I want to do that. You do have to go along the shortest path, so I would just go shoink shoink. I couldn't go like, whoa. What I could do is move and then the Truth Beckons, but I think what I do is I leave the Truth Beckons for when I have the clues and I need to bolt over to Whately Ruins. Do I just keep this opening hand? I have a way to investigate. I have a ally for damage and horror sync. Research notes. Combos with Bizarre Diagnosis, which lets me heal damage, which if Lily draws her arm injury, I'll need to do. And the Truth Beckons. Yeah, I'm just going to keep that hand. Sounds strange. Okay, then we flip over Dunwich Village. There are 3 clues here. Action, resign. You hide from the creatures. Action, move a Brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy once towards Dunwich Village. I don't think I want to do that. The Brood of Yogg-Sothoths are 6, 1, 3, massive, plus 1 investigator health, so they have 3 HP, and cannot be damaged or attacked except by using the ability on Esoteric Formula. Esoteric Formula is what I get after I go to Whately Ruins and spend all the clues. Spoiler alert. Okay. So, Dunwich Village is not safe because Brood of Yogg-Sothoth could move here. If I draw a Dunwich Village or a Blasted Heath, he moves to Dunwich Village. Cold Spring Glen, he'd stay there. 10 Acre Meadow or 10 Acre Meadow, he'd go there. And then Whately Ruins or Devil's Hopyard, he'd go that way. So that's a 33% chance of moving towards me and attacking each of my investigators at 2 and 2. And I do not like those odds. So I think what I'm going to do first, let's have Darrell play his Mariner's Compass. I'm going to leave these clues here, even though it's a Shroud of 2. Well, no. I'm going to investigate once. A basic investigate 5 on a 2. Squid. That was -3, right? Correct. Clue. And then I'm going to move up to the Blasted Heath. 3 Shroud 2 clues force at the end of your turn. If you are in Blasted Heath, take a damage. Well, I didn't know. Okay. Lily's going to get set up similarly. I'm going to play my brand. And then do I get Francis Morgan or my first aid kit out? I'm going to get Francis Morgan out to pump my fists. And she's going to do the same thing. Now, I mean, she knows about the damage, but now she's got Francis Morgan. Okay. Now it is the start of the enemy phase. And on the agenda card, it says at the end of the enemy phase, move each brood of... Oh, the end of the enemy phase. Actually, okay. So they move at the end of the enemy phase. They don't hunt. But I still think I wanted to move. Yeah, I think so. And this Blasted Heath, it doesn't have the ability to put your clues on Broods of Yogg-Sothoth. Some of the locations do. I thought the other Blasted Heath does. Anyway, so if I click Move Broods, what happens? Move Brood once towards Blasted Heath. It says it... Well, I'm in the way. It says it down here. Move Brood once towards Blasted Heath. So, that's what I shall do. Oh, and it highlighted them. That's cool. Okay. Upkeep. I got a beat cop in case Morgan bites the dust. And a sharp vision. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's 3 books on a basic investigate action, and I get an extra clue. I might just be using that right away. Doom on the sheet in the Mythos phase, and we draw encounter cards. Attracting attention. Surge. Each Brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy in play moves once towards you. Great. Not what I wanted. Surge. If there are no investigators at the same location as a Brood of Yogg-Sothoth, Ruin and Destruction gain Surge. Otherwise, each investigator at the same location as a Brood of Yogg-Sothoth test foot 3 for each point he or she fails by. He or she takes a damage. Whole foot 3? You know? That could damage Darrell. I'm going to Ward of Protection that and just take the horror on Lily. Good trade, I think. Just for shits. Lily would have taken a 1 damage, and I would have taken 3 damage. Yeah, that was a good Ward of Protection. Encounter card here. Rotting Remains. Jesus Christ, Darrell. Lily, do you have any head commits? I forgot Lily had Drawn to the Flame. No. I mean, Darrell's big health pool is his sanity, so just gonna go test 2 on a 3 straight up. Okay, I take 1 horror. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, this motherfucker is on me. He does only have an evade of 3. If Lily could evade him, she could put her clues on him. And as long as we don't draw tablets that fail... No. Well, as long as we don't draw tablets, which there's 1 in the bag, those clues would stay there. Is this worth Lily using her discipline to go up to 8 feet to get away? Probably. I'm going to do that. Actually, wait a minute. Wait a cotton pickin' minute. Lily just hit 15 XP. I did not realize this. When she hits 15 XP, you may choose and add a different discipline asset to your deck. Well, since I didn't do it for this scenario, I'll do it for the next scenario. I didn't realize that she got to 15 XP. It probably would have been the head one, so that wouldn't have helped here anyway. But whatever. I'm going to get +5 skill value for the next skill test I perform. 8 feet. Testing to evade the Brood of Yogg-Sothoth. 8 on a 3. That succeeds. And then there is a 5 in 6 chance it moves from here. So I think, does Lily draw to the flame? She'll take another damage. That's okay. Francis Morgan. I'm going to cast Drawn to the Flame to get these 2 clues. She's frozen in fear. That's okay. Darrell's going to put an evidence on that. Lily gets the 2 clues. She can't move from here. It's the end of her turn, so she takes a damage. Francis Morgan takes a damage. Okay. At the end of Lily's turn, she tests Frozen in Fear, head 3. I'm not going to commit the... Oh, this gets flipped. I'm not going to commit the first aid kit. 3 on a 3. That is a fail. So the Frozen in Fear stays. That's good. If she's at the same location as Darrell, she'll get, or he'll get the evidence from it. Darrell's going to go ahead over to Devil's Hop Yard. 2 Shroud, 1 clue. You lure the creature into the thick fog. An investigator in Devil's Hop Yard may place up to 2 of his or her clues on an abomination enemy in the Devil's Hop Yard. Okay. That was my first action to move. I mean, it's only a shroud of 1. I don't want to spend all of my resources on Mariner's Compass. Here's what I do. I play Madame Lebranche, 2 resources. Then I investigate with Mariner's Compass. I'll spend the last resource so that I have 0 in my pool. I'm testing a 6 on a 1. 2 clues if I succeed, which it does. Okay. Give me both them clues. Darrell's got 1, and Lily's got 2, and we need 4 to be at the Whately Ruins. Okay. Anyway, that was Darrell's last action to investigate. I could... Yeah, I'm going to exhaust Madame Lebranche to get me a resource back. I believe it's in... Yeah, so I took an action, which was to investigate. We go back to this player window. That's where I activate Madame Lebranche. Enemy phase. This enemy's exhausted. Let's move a brood. Move it once towards Devil's Hop Yard. It's still at the end of the enemy phase. He's still exhausted. I might just take an attack of opportunity and say bye-bye Madame Lebranche to get to Whately Ruins, because we need to get to Whately Ruins. Although now Lily's got to run through there. We'll see. Maybe Lily can evade him again. Although she's frozen in fear, which kind of sucks. Anyway, upkeep. Ceremonial Sickle. Darrell's got a Hawkeye folding camera. Okay. He readies back up. Doom on the sheet. Encounter cards. Altered Beasts. When you enter attached enemy's location or vice versa, take a horror. Now, here's the question. I'm already at his location. I didn't enter it, and he didn't enter mine. I think I don't take any horror there. Like, I'm going to rule that I did not enter attached enemy's location. It was already here, and it did not enter my location. I don't take the horror. That's how I'm going to rule it. Could you stop drawing rotting remains? 2 on a 3. I could commit my camera. I kind of want my camera. 2 on a 3. -3. It's not an attack or evasion attempt, so I just take 3 horror. Fucking Darrell. I mean, at least he's got 8 sanity. Lily, Lily could go 1, 2, 3 and get to Whately Ruins, but she's only got 2 clues. Darrell could take an attack of opportunity. I don't know if we want to be ending our turn at Whately Ruins because there's a very good chance, there's a 50% chance that he moves to Whately Ruins next turn. I think Darrell just has to try to evade this Brood of Yogg-Sothoth. I have not gotten any evidence on any of my assets. I could just sacrifice Madame Lebranche to take this attack of opportunity, which might be the smart play. I've got 3 clues. Yeah, I think that's what I do. Move, which provokes an attack of opportunity of 2 and 2 from the Brood of Yogg-Sothoth by Madame Lebranche. I entered Whately Ruins. 3 shroud, 4 clues. Each investigator at Whately Ruins gets -1 head. Quick action, lightning bolt. You hurl a nearby canister of paint at the monster. An investigator at Whately Ruins may place up to 3 of his or her clues on an abomination enemy in Whately Ruins. Group limit once per game. So I'm sitting at 5 book, 3 shroud. I could cast, or I could commit my sharp vision to try to get 2 of them. That'd be at 8 on a 3. And I just need to succeed by 5 or more, or by 2 or more, and I'm up by 5. Yeah. I'm going to commit sharp vision on a basic investigate action 8 on a 3. -3 sends me down to 5. 5 on a 3 still succeeds by 2. 2 clues. And then Darrell's going to spend them. So he keeps all but 1. And Lily keeps her 2. I'm going to spend them in advance. Armitage survived the Dunwich legacy. There, Armitage sighs a breath of relief. Armitage sighs a breath of relief. Usually people breathe sighs of relief instead of sighing breaths of relief. That's weird. Anyway, I'm going to read it the way I want to. There, Armitage breathes a sigh of relief, jotting down the last phrases of the formula. I have translated the last of it. He shudders as he hands you the script, the words conjuring forth memories of his battle with the creature. I hope this is the last time I have to read it, he admits. But if we do nothing, the end result will be much, much worse. Each investigator puts into play 1 set-aside esoteric formula. Where's my set-aside? Esoteric formula. So Lily gets 1. Darrell gets 1. I guess the other 2 can go fuck right off. Esoteric formula is action fight using head instead of fist, +2 for this attack for each clue on the attacked enemy, only on an abomination, and that is the only way that I can damage the Broods. Okay. Our next act card is They Must Be Destroyed. With the formula in hand, you finally have the means to destroy the creatures wreaking havoc in Dunwich, but only if you can survive long enough. Objective, defeat as many Brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemies as you can. If there are no copies of Brood of Yogg-Sothoth in play or set aside, advance. Okay. So Darrell now has 1 clue and Lily has 2. I'm going to get out of Whately Ruins for 2 reasons. 1, the Brood of Yogg-Sothoth could come to me. Second, I have -1 head, and I keep drawing Rotting Remains, although I've drawn 2 of the 3 of them, so... we're going to go over to the 10-acre meadow. 3 shroud, 1 clue, you lure the monster into the rain. Place 1 clue from the token bank on an abomination enemy at 10-acre meadow. At the end of the round, remove the clue from that enemy. So it comes from the token bank, but you only have 1 turn to use it. Okay. That was Darrell's last move. Yeah, last action. Lily, I think you need to come down and join Darrell. 1, 2. And Darrell is hurting for horror. I'm going to play my first aid. Enemy phase. He doesn't attack. He doesn't hunt, but he does move. He's moving once towards 10-acre meadow. The shortest path to 10-acre meadow is this direction, which is why I wanted to get Darrell out of there. Cool. We can go over there now, but see, an investigator may place up to 3 of his or her clues. Well, Darrell only has 1 and Lily has 2, so that would be a waste almost. I think what we have to hope for... Oh, Lily also did not test a... whatchamacallit? Do a skill test. At the end of her turn, right? Oh, at the end of the round. Frozen in Fear is going to fuck Lily's discipline forever unless she passes it. Wow. She's testing 3 on a 3. She passed it. It's gone. So that can flip next turn if she doesn't do any other actions, any other skill tests, I mean. Oh, it's the end of the round. Wow. Frozen in Fear is really bad for that. Okay. Yeah, upkeep. A Vicious Blow. Working a Hunch. I mean, there haven't been any 4-shroud locations, but what I could do is I could play my Hawkeye folding camera, get the last clue, put in evidence on it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's time for Doom on the sheet. We're at 3 of 5. Frozen in Fear? Nope. A Whippoorwill. Darrell's going to put in evidence on that. And he's going to draw Rotting Remains. Nope. Sorted and Silent. Attached to your location at the end of end of the round, each investigator at attached location takes a horror. So we're probably going to be moving out of here, right, Darrell? Yeah. Well, I want Darrell to go first. He would be testing a 4 on a 3. Or, like I said, I could play Working a Hunch that's fast and just grab it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. First, play my Hawkeye folding camera. I don't have the resources to play Working a Hunch now. I gain a resource. And then I play Working a Hunch, which is fast. That gets rid of my resources. I get the clue from the location. It was the last clue on that location. So I get an evidence on the Hawkeye folding camera. The Whippoorwill was at my location. So I get an evidence on Darrell's Kodak. That'll be useful if I attack these Broods of Yogg-Sothoth. That can move their fight down to 4. And if I put clues on them, then, you know, if I have 2 clues on them, that's essentially testing a 0, quote unquote. Because we get +4 and it gets -2, so that like negates the 6. So Darrell would be testing at a 2 still. It's not great. Lily would be testing at a 3. It's still not great. Better. But then Darrell's last action is going to be to move down to the Cold Spring Glen. No clues. Each enemy in Cold Spring Glen gets -1 evade after Cold Spring Glen is chosen as a random location. An investigator at Cold Spring Glen tests foot 3. If successful, choose a different random location. So I don't have a lot of places where I can put clues on abominations. I can put 2 at the Devil's Hop Yard, 3 at Whately Ruins, 1 temporary clue at 10 Acre Meadow, and that's it. So 5, a temporary 6th, and then 2 Powder of Ibengazis. 7, 8. Well, 7 and a temporary 8th. Huh. Kind of got the short end of the stick on the random locations, because I know for a fact that there's a Blasted Heath that has a random one, or that lets you put clues on it. And I know there's a Cold Spring Glen that lets you put clues on it. So anyway, that is the end of my turn. I do have +1 head with my Hawkeye folding camera, which is cool. There's no clues here. Depending on where the Brood of Yogg-Sothoth goes and what our plan is, I might go grab these clues or these clues. Anyway, it's Lily's turn. I do think we need to get rid of the Whippoorwill. So I'm going to engage it. Oh, but this would be a fight. This would be a skill test. We can have the Whippoorwill live a turn. Lily's going to move down to Darrell. Lily's going to heal one of Darrell's horror. That's her second action. And then she's going to draw a card, question mark? Yeah, draw a card. Hypochondria. I put the evidence on the... No, I didn't put... I did put in evidence on the whippoorwill. I forgot to exhaust Darrell's Kodak. It should be exhausted. Otherwise, I'd put my evidence on this. After you take 1 or more damage, take a direct horror. Not the worst. But anyway, that's Lily's turn. Hunter's Hunt. Here comes the whippoorwill. End of the enemy phase, Brood of Yog-Sothoth moves once towards the 10-acre meadow. So let's see. We need to do 3 damage to it. This the esoteric formula doesn't do extra damage. So we would need to succeed in 3 tests. So I'm just doing some counting here. Sorted and Silent is there, which it might be worth it taking a horror to get rid of this guy. Although Altered Beast also deals a horror. So I would have to spend 2 actions to move. I would have 4 actions to fight. I could put 1 clue on it, the temporary clue. So I would have 4 fights at +2 head. So Lily would be fighting at a 5 on a 6. Not the best. Darrell, because of his Hawkeye folding camera, would also be at a 5 on a 6. I have 1 evidence, so I could do 1 5 on a 4. Lily could do a 5 on a 4 twice, but then Darrell would be down. Yeah, I need to get more clues on these enemies. I think I need to go to Waitley Ruins and then just throw a bunch of clues on them. Anyway, it's upkeep time. Did I upkeep already? No, because Vicious Blow... Yeah, I have not done the upkeep already. Hypnotic Gaze. I can cancel the attack. I can... So that's a really expensive dodge. Darrell's got another Hawkeye folding camera. Well, if I'm done investigating, which, I mean, I will be if I suck up these 2 clues. If I'm done investigating, I can dual wield Hawkeye folding cameras and then still have my Kodak around my neck. triple wielding cameras. Okay. Doom on the sheet. Up to 4 out of 5. Time for encounter cards. Lily really needs something to punch. That's not it. +1 fight and +1 health, and I don't have any way to cancel it. Well, that is a really big Brood of Yog-Sothoth. It's not at my location, so I don't take a damage. Ooh. Surge. Each Brood of Yog-Sothoth enemy in play moves once towards you. That's actually bad because it now moved into our location. We each take a horror because of Altered Beasts. And it surges. And it's humongous now. And I take a damage. Darrell takes a damage because he drew it. Oh boy. He does have -1 evade. We have -1 to all of our stats. I can't engage the whippoorwill. Otherwise, I'll take an attack of opportunity from the Brood of Yog-Sothoth. Jeezel Pete. I need to kill it, but now it's got 5 HP. The last time I played this scenario, I had Waylay, and that's how I dealt with a giant Brood of Yog-Sothoth. Let's see, if I move, Darrell will be at 4 and 6 damage. I can evade it. I can have Darrell spend an evidence to evade it. Oh, I should also probably put an evidence on this thing. That was the last one that came into play. That was the one that Darrell drew. We can spend an evidence to automatically evade it, basically. Because it's got -1 evade. And if I spend the evidence, that'll make it a 0. I think it makes more sense for Darrell to test it. Because Lily, I think, needs to get rid of her hypochondria. Oh, Lily? Oh, no, Lily didn't take the damage. Only Darrell took the damage. Okay. Darrell is going to evade the Brood of Yogg-Sothoth, spending an evidence. He's testing a 2 on a 0. That's good enough. It's not an auto fail. You know what, Lily? Well, Lily can do this during her turn. I might put those 2 Powder of Benghazi clues on it now. That will, I mean, those 2 clues just negate the 2+2 fights. Darrell's going to come up here as his second action. And I'm going to Mariner's Compass. Spending my resource to make my book 6 on a 3 to get the 2 clues. I might as well commit the Truth Beckons. Because there are no more unrevealed locations, and that doesn't do anything anymore. 7 on a 3. Yep. Always. Literally every time. Literally every time. Fun. Okay. Anyway, Lily's going to put these 2 clues on the Brood of Yogg-Sothoth. The Powder of Benghazi, does it go away after they're all gone? No. I mean, it's still there. Oh yeah, this flips because she did not do a test last turn. She's not going to do a test this turn. Spoilers. God, he could move into our location again and just keep dealing us horror. But at least if he's here, we can throw more clues on him and just kill him. So her first action is move. Second action, heal one of Darrell's horror. Third action, heal another one of Darrell's horror? Or should I have fought this guy? Let's see. No, the Whippoorwill was there. We need to kill the Whippoorwill. So hopefully the Brood of Yogg-Sothoth does not come here. And the Whippoorwill will, and then we can just kill it. Excuse me, she moved and she healed one of Darrell's. Do I just heal another one of Darrell's? Oh, I maybe should have gotten rid of my hypochondria. You know, I'm okay with that, honestly. Let's just draw another card. I got my better brand. Oh, and I can dual wield them. They each take up an arcane slot. I can dual wield brands. That's kind of amazing. If there were enemies to fight other than these Broods of Yogg-Sothoth. Okay, it's the enemy phase now. Whippoorwill comes back to us. End of the enemy phase, the Brood moves towards Dunwich. That's fantastic. Let's ready him up, even though it's not technically time yet. He's over here. Giant Brood of Yogg-Sothoth goes way far away. Maybe what we do is we just ignore him. And I'm fairly certain that when this advances, another one's going to come into play, and we just try to fuck him up. We do get upkeeps. An obsidian bracelet. And a higher education. Doom on the sheet is 5 out of 5. Yep. An old pickup truck rolls to a stop along the weathered trails of Dunwich. The driver, Joe Osborne, calls out to you through a shattered driver's side window. The truck's engine's still running. "It's over at the Eric's farm," he shouts. "Dunn blasted their place apart. Poor Henry and Martha." You ask Osborne for the location of the Eric's homestead, and it confirms your worst fear. That attack had to have occurred recently. Or for that attack to have occurred recently, there must be more monsters on the loose. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. So those 2 rotting remains Darrell can draw again. Spawn one of the set-aside brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemies at a random location if able. Random location. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna put in a die here. Objects, components, dice, D6, go. So again, it's from the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. So that's here. Okay. We'll leave that because I think I'm going to have to do that again. Biding its time. Once in a while, a wind sweeping up out of Cold Spring Glen would be a touch of ineffable fator to the heavy night air. But the looked-for terror did not appear. Whatever was down there in the glen was biding its time, and Armitage told his colleagues it would be suicidal to try to attack it in the dark. H.P. Lovecraft, The Dunwich Horror. Force at the end of the enemy phase, move each brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy once towards a random location. Well, we got him here, but if we end our turn here, we take damage. But this gives us a turn. Neither of these can get to us. Oh, Sorted and Silent also goes away. I think this technically should be in the encounter discard pile before I shuffled it in. I still need to draw encounter cards. Fuck. Another Whippoorwill. Shoink. I'm going to put evidence on that. Darrell's Kodak. Unhallowed Country. Comes into play in your threat area. You cannot play ally assets and treat all allies as if their text box were blank. Okay. I'm kind of hoping what happens. So, get the clues, take care of some whippoorwills. Move up here and hope this guy moves into us. And then we can fuck him up. Because we can put 2 of our clues on him here. That'll essentially turn his fight into a 2. Darrell's got an extra head here. I can get an extra book if I get another evidence on it. But first, yeah, let's have Darrell go first. Let's have Lily go first. She's going to engage this whippoorwill. She is going to fight it. She's at 4, 5, 6 fist. But there are 2 whippoorwills at her location, so she's still back down to 4. I'm going to use my brand. My brand. That fucking YouTube video. Anyway, I'm going to use my brand so I get +1. So let me recalculate. 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 2 is 5 on a 2. 5 on a 2. That is a cultist. I think that is a reveal another. If you fail, take a horror. 5 on a 2. Motherfucker. I could have committed this. I could have committed this. I could have committed a whole hell of a lot of things I didn't think I need to. Take a horror. Well, let's do it again. And this is only if you succeed, spend the charges, which is pretty good. I'm going to do it again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 on a 2. 5 on a 2. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, that succeeds. I'm going to spend a charge to deal 1 damage to it. It's dead. Well, unfortunately, Lily can't move up here anymore. but that's okay. She'll keep the whippoorwill here at bay. And then if Darrell moves here and this thing moves here, then Darrell can do some stuff to it. Anyway, Darrell's turn. I'm going to investigate this location with the Mariner's Compass, spending a resource. Spending the resource negates the whippoorwill, essentially, so that puts me back up to 5 on a 3. 6 on a 3. Okay. I get 2 clues because of the Mariner's Compass. That was the last clue. Hawkeye folding camera gets an evidence. This whippoorwill is here. Darrell's Kodak gets the evidence. Move. Draw a card. Gain a resource. Draw a card. I could get out another Hawkeye folding. Well, another Hawkeye folding camera isn't going to be useful because this is the only location with clues left on it. So that's only really useful as a head commit at this point, I think. It'll be more useful that way, at least. Research notes also probably not useful unless I play my bizarre diagnosis. Just get an evidence on it, but that seems like a weird roundabout way to get an evidence on something. I'm just going to draw a card. It's an occult lexicon, which doesn't really help unless I draw a non-Brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy. Okay. That was my last action. Test head 3. I'm at 2. My Hawkeye folding camera gives me 3 on a 3. I'm going to commit this Hawkeye folding camera to make it 4 on a 3. Do I commit this to make it a 4 on a 1? I don't need allies. I don't have allies in my hand. So, actually, fuck it. 3 on a 3. You've got to be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me. I should have committed it. Well, I take a horror. Well, I think that calls to crack another one of these bad boys. Okay. Enemy phase. The whippoorwill stays here because Lily's here. Broods of Yogg-Sothoth. Move. Oh. Okay, so they each move a different location. I never played it that way. I played that they both moved to a random location because it says move each Brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy once towards a random location. All right, I guess they each pick a different one. Well, he goes to Dunwich Village and he goes to 10 Acre Meadow. Well, that's not great because they're running away from me. Then if they both show up at the same spot, like we might just need to get to Blasted Heath, tank some damage. I don't want this guy, but this guy moving in is a horror. I've got 4 and 4 left on Darrell. I've got 6 and 4 left on Lily. But if she takes damage, she takes a direct horror because of her hypochondria. Ugh. Well, we get to upkeep. And Lily's got her arm injury. Good thing she left one of her first aids. Darrell's got a lucky. Oh, that's good. I might need to be relying on Darrell and his luckies to kill these broods. Anyway. Yeah, that was upkeep. Doom on the sheet is up 1 on a 6. Lily's got Assorted and Silent. Well, we're going to be getting out of here. There's no sense in putting in evidence on that for Darrell because there's no clues there. Towering Beast attached to a Brood of Yogg-Sothoth. Yeah, we're just going to put... Like, unfortunately, we wasted the Powder of Ibn Ghazi clues on the giant dude. He's got 9 fight now. But I mean, at this point, I think we're like these 2 clues are a lost cause. Because even without that, he's got 8 fight, 5 health. But he's got 2 clues on him. If I could get 3 more clues on him from Whately Ruins, we'd be testing like a 13 on an 8. But honestly, that +1 fight doesn't really help. Or it doesn't really hurt much. The +1 health is what hurts more. Yeah, I think I put it on that one, as unfortunate as that is, and I'll put in evidence on that one too. Right? Because that's a treachery and it comes into play, right? Yeah. Sure. So, this Brood of Yogg-Sothoth. If I could get 5 clues on him, he's beatable. But then that only leaves 2 clues to put on another one. And then 1 temporary clue to put on another one. Lily could do her discipline bullshit, but that would take so much time. Okay, well, one thing is for certain. Lily needs to run away. Do I need to kill the whippoorwill first? No. Devil's Hopyard is safe. The Broods of Yogg-Sothoth cannot get there this turn. I move, and I discard Hypochondria. That's Lily's turn. Do I want to play Obsidian Bracelet for when Darrell draws... Actually, yeah, let's leave Hypochondria. I'm going to play Obsidian Bracelet for when Darrell draws Rotting Remains. Because he's gonna. And then I draw another card. Okay. I'll keep the Hypochondria out. No, well, no, I don't want to draw another card. I want to heal my arm injury. That's what I was going to do first. That makes much more sense. Do I shuffle the Enchanted Blade? The Enchanted Blade is what it would have been. I'm just going to keep it there. I didn't want to draw a card. All right, Darrell, what are you going to do? Fap? Pretty much. Draw a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could play my Occult Lexicon, getting rid of my Mariner's Compass, because these are the only 2 clues left on the field. I gain a resource. I play my Occult Lexicon. Getting rid of my Mariner's Compass. Bonded cards go to my deck and 1 to my hand. And then I gain another resource. Do I draw a card? Gain a resource. No, because, well, the Hawkeye Floating Camera. No, I'm going to draw a card instead. Ooh, we've got a dilemma. If there are no enemies in play, draw 1 card. Otherwise, you must decide each unengaged enemy moves once towards the nearest investigator. So the whippoorwill comes to us. This guy comes to here. This guy comes to here. Or... each investigator disengages from each engaged enemy, or each enemy engaged with them, and moves once away from the nearest enemy. Well, this is the nearest enemy, so that means that we would both move to Blasted Heath. It's still Darrell's turn. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to choose... each unengaged enemy moves once towards the nearest investigator. Whippoorwill moves. Giganto Boy moves. This guy moves. They're cornering us. This could be very bad. But I didn't want us to end up at Blasted Heath. Well, Darrell would have taken a damage. No. Yeah, Darrell can heal that damage. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to choose the other option. The other option is we disengage from each enemy engaged with them and move once away from the nearest enemy. The nearest enemy is the whippoorwill. We both move here. It's the end of Darrell's turn. He takes a damage. I can heal that. at the cost of putting a clue back down here. Oh no. Shroud of 3. I've got a book of 6. Now, it's also the end of my turn. Head 3. I'm sitting at 3 on a 3. Lily, can you help me at all? She's got her big brand. But that's it. He's got his other Hawkeye folding camera. All right, let's commit the other Hawkeye folding camera. 4 on a 3. That's legit. I'm going to put in evidence on this Hawkeye folding camera to get +1 sanity. And this goes away. Solid. My elder sign is put an evidence on an asset you control. The Hawkeye folding camera is an asset I control. So now I got +1 sanity. Can I change this number? No. Okay. That's our turn. Now it's the enemy phase. The whippoorwill is going to come chase us. Now we got to move the broods. I'm hoping this guy moves here. Then we can put clues on him and fuck him up. Yes, 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 yes. So this orange one is moving towards Devil Hopyard, which is into us. And this guy's moving over here. If he stays there, we can get 3 more clues on him. So how many clues does Lily have? Lily has 2, right? And Darrell's got 4. We can have Lily. Oh, there's no clue. There's no clue thing at this location. Son of a bitch. We need him to be here. Fuck. Although now he's going to attack of opportunity if we don't evade him. Lily can do 1 damage. I mean, his fight will be 6. Darrell will just be testing 3 on a 6. Which if I draw a 0, he could lucky. That seems very bad. If only I hadn't used my powder of Ibn Ghazi. I should have waited. I didn't know that that boy was going to get that big. Oh, first aid should be discarded, by the way, because it has no things on it. You know, I might just go back to Devil's Hopyard to try to lure him. But I have to evade him first, which Lily, I think, will do. All right, anyway, we need to upkeep. I'm taking a long time on this. Oh, yeah, there's my enchanted blade. I knew that that was coming. And my other lucky. Oh, could Darrell draw 2 zeros? That's the question. Could Darrell draw 2 zeros? Because if he can, Lily can use her +5 to go up to 8. Still, 8 on a 6 is not great. It's -2. She could commit this brand to make it 9 on a 6. I mean, I guess Darrell could use one of his luckies on her. I mean, they both have 3 head because the Hawkeye folding camera's given him 1. I could spend this clue, or this evidence, to make it a 4. I might try to kill this Brood of Yogg-Sothoth next turn, depending on what the encounter cards give us. An Unhallowed Country. Francis Morgan, I lose my fist. That's not the end of the world. Ruin and Destruction. If there are no investigators at the same location as Brood of Yogg-Sothoth, each investigator at the same location as Brood of Yogg-Sothoth test foot 3. Okay. Foot 3 for Lily. I'm going to commit this Hypnotic Gaze to make it a 4. Nope. There's a whippoorwill here. Oh, no, there's a whippoorwill there. 4 on a 3. -2. And I take 1 damage. It's this one. I take 1 damage for each point he or she fails by. So I failed by 1. I take 1 damage, and it's going to go on Francis Morgan. But because I'm a hypochondriac, after you take 1 or more damage, take a direct horror. Now Darrell has to test the same thing. 3 on a 3. Do I have any feet? I could lucky that. No, I need to save my luckies for attacking the brood. -1, he takes a damage. I'm going to have Lily assign that to her obsidian bracelet, which can only be assigned damage and horror dealt by treachery effects. Oh, but this is direct. Damn it. Okay, never mind. But also, obsidian bracelet may be assigned damage and or horror dealt to other investigators at your location. So the obsidian bracelet is going to soak that up for Darrell. Okay. It's time to try to fuck this guy up. He has a fight of 6. Lily is going to activate this ability to get +5 to her next skill test. She is going to activate this fight using head instead of fist. +2 head for each clue, which is 0. So I'm sitting at an 8 on a 6. 8 on a 4. Yes. -1. That is a success. 1 damage on the Brood of Yogg-Sothoth. 2 actions, and this flips her this thing. Now, do I try to evade at a 3 on a 3? Because if I don't kill it this turn with Darrell, and I don't evade it, then it attacks us both for 2 and 2, which would kill Lily. Because, well, no, it would kill Morgan. I've got this. I've got an evidence. I can spend 2 evidence for my Hawkeye folding camera and still have it give me the +1 head, which is really what I need. The +1 sanity's nice, but I'm not in super danger of that right now. We're trying to kill this right now. I'm going to fight it again. Her head is 3. It's a 6. I am going to spend an evidence to make it go down to a difficulty of 4. And I'm going to commit my big brand of Cthulhu to make it a 4 on a 4. All I need to draw is a -3 or better, and lucky can save me. Or the +1. That also works. We're going to do this. All right, Darrell, it's up to you now. I'm testing head 3 on a 6. I am going to commit this to make it a 4. Or I'm going to spend an evidence to make it a 4. I'm going to commit Bloodright to make it a 4 on a 4. Can I play 2 luckies in the same turn? That's a good question. I don't see why you couldn't. Like, if I fail by 4, can I just play both of my luckies to give me +6? Again, I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. Let's just not even think about that and draw a -3 or better. Or how about a 0 or better to just succeed? Squid is -3. If it is revealed during an attack or evasion attempt against a Brood of Yogg-Sothoth, it immediately attacks you. You know what? I am somewhat okay with that. It doesn't say if it fails. It's just it does attack you, regardless of whether or not it fails. But I'm going to play lucky, which turns the -3 into a 0. I was testing a 4 on a 4. It succeeds. He's dead. That was my first action. Darrell needs to heal. I'm going to place one of my clues on my location to heal 3 damage with a bizarre diagnosis. And then I'm going to run the fuck away from the blasted heath. So that I don't take another one of that damage. This Brood of Yogg-Sothoth cannot get to Dunwich Village or Blasted Heath, so that's okay. Those are my last 2 actions. Oh, Hawkeye folding camera. I didn't realize how good that could be. Pick up all the clues, get an evidence on a Hawkeye folding camera. Put one of them back down, pick it back up again. It triggers Hawkeye folding camera again. Oh, I didn't think about that. I'm learning new stuff about this game every day. Okay, that squid token go back in the bag. It is now time for the enemy phase. The whippoorwill comes and chases Lily. Oh, Lily takes a damage because she ended at Blasted Heath, and she takes a direct horror. I might be getting out of here with just 1 Brood of Yogg-Sothoth defeated, but that's better than 0. We'll see if we can like huddle in Dunwich Village and heal up somehow. We need to heal the horror, and I think the only horror healing cards I have is if I find my Hallowed Mirror with Lily. Anyway, it is enemy phase time. We move the whippoorwill. Brood of Yogg-Sothoth has to move. He stays there. Okay. Upkeep. Hallowed Mirror. Nope. How about Burden of Destiny? That kills her. That kills Lily. You must either flip a discipline you control to its broken side. It cannot flip back this round. Well, that's the only discipline. And because it's a must choose, I have to choose one that changes the game state, so I have to take a damage on a horror. So the damage goes on me. The horror goes on me. And then Hypochondria says, after you take 1 or more damage, take a direct horror. That kills Lily. Okay. That's fine. I think Darrell's just going to be running away unless a Brood of Yogg-Sothoth. I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth it for Darrell, especially since. Come on, go back in there. Since whatchamacallit. My only healing thing left was Hallowed Mirror to heal Darrell's horror. I think he's just leaving. Lily goes bye-bye. The Powder of Benghazi gets RFG'd at the end of this. The esoteric formula is not going to go back on my deck. So, yeah. Lily's dead. Hypochondria. I should have gotten rid of it when I had the chance, honestly. I took, what, 3 direct horror that way? I should have healed it. I should have healed it. Anyway. So Lily dies because of her weaknesses clashing together. Darrell still gets to upkeep. He can grit his teeth. Okay. Doom goes on the sheet. Encounter card for Darrell is a Rotting Remains. This could kill him. He's lucky. He cannot fail it unless he auto-fails. Okay. 3 on a 3. -2. That will kill him. Lucky. So that succeeds. Draw a card. Cool. Oh, Lily's also gone. Is there anything that I can do? I don't think so. I'm going to have Darrell resign. Lily dying was a huge hit. If I had her head discipline, I could have been healing that stuff, which that's my fault for not putting it in the deck when I got to 15 XP. That was just me. That was me rushing through the deck upgrade process, being like, okay, I'm going to get a Hallowed Mirror, or I'm going to get my 2 Vicious Blows. That's what I got this time, was the 2 Vicious Blows. All right, Lily died to head trauma, which at least it's 1 and 1 now, instead of like 2 physical and 0 mental. But that's the end of the scenario. We got 1 XP. None of these locations have XP, do they? No. So we get 1 XP. Fucking Dunwich. Okay, anyway. Do not read. If no resolution was reached, each investigator resigned or was defeated. Go to resolution 1. You did all you could to stop the rampaging monsters, but there were more of them than you realized. Or, not just more of them than you realized, the one that we tried to attack got gigantic. That's what it was. And it wasn't even that. I didn't take any damage from the Broods of Yogg-Sothoth, although I took damage running away to the Blasted Heath and taking damage there. So in a roundabout way, I took damage from the Broods of Yogg-Sothoth. I didn't take any damage from their attacks. You did all you could to stop the rampaging monsters, but there were more of them than you realized, and you weren't able to slay all of them. Exhausted and terrified, you retreat to Zebulon's home and hope to survive the night. In your campaign log, record that X brood escaped into the wild. X is the total number of Broods of Yogg-Sothoth in play or set aside. That is 2 Broods escaped into the wild. Because there's the guy in play, and there's still one in here. This guy. If an investigator's deck contains the powder of Benghazi, it goes away, and each investigator earns 1 measly XP. Were there any other enemies in here with XP? I don't think so. Because it's just avian thralls, whippoorwills, and lupine thralls. I know I could hit the search button. Yeah, there were no locations. Yeah, this one's just going to give you a maximum, what, 5 XP, I think? Or is there any scenario where you fight all 5? Yes. If you succeeded, if you did really well in Blood on the Altar, then 2 copies of Brood of Yogg-Sothoth are in play, and 3 are set aside. So you could get 5 XP if you did really well. But whatever. Next is where doom awaits. I don't know what I'm going to do with this 1 whole XP from this scenario, but that's probably the worst one that I've had yet. It didn't help. Like, if we look at the other locations that got set aside, where are the other locations? So Dunwich Village. So Dunwich Village has a way to place a clue. Didn't get that one. This Blasted Heath, instead of dealing damage, could have been place 2 clues, but it's a higher shroud, but more clues. Oh well, I've got Darrell. The Devil's Hop Yard. Okay, Devil's Hop Yard, I actually drew the better one. I could put 2 clues instead of 1. Cold Spring Glen. I could put 2 clues instead of forcing him to move away. 10 Acre Meadow. This is a permanent clue instead of a temporary clue. And Whately Ruins. Okay, I actually drew the 3 clues. But the other one is Test Book 4, which Darrell could have done, especially after he got the folding camera with 2 evidence on it. He could have been up to 6 on a 4. To either move a Brood of Yogg-Sothoth away from us or towards us. But yeah, there's definitely an ideal, like, there's an ideal location set and there's a you get fucked location set. So I would think the 1 clue Dunwich Village, we really got fucked on Blasted Heath. This, at the end of your turn, if you're there, take a damage. That one really hurt. compared to, oh, if there's a creature here, you can put 2 of your clues on it. Okay. The Devil's Hop Yard, we got the better clue, but this one's not bad either. I mean, that's 1 clue versus 2 clues. The Whately Ruins, we actually got the good one. You can place 3 clues. The Cold Spring Glen, we couldn't put clues there. And the Tennecker Meadow. So we only got like 2 of the 6 good locations. I wonder if Return to Dunwich makes this scenario any better. I haven't looked at the Return to Dunwich, but like this is by far like I think the weakest scenario in the campaign by far. And it's just like, God, if you get these things and no way to just discard an enemy or somebody who already has like 5 head, like a mystic, like the fact that I have a 3 and a 2 head, that these 2 investigators are not good for this scenario. But it is what it is. I got 1 XP. I'm just glad I killed 1 Brood of Yogg-Sothoth. Lily took a mental trauma. Anyway, I'll be back next time with Where Doom Awaits. Second to last scenario. Could be the last scenario if I fail it, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Anyway, let's look at the stats. Can I look at the stats? I'm kind of in the way of the stats. Lily drew 7 squids. This has to be for the whole campaign. No? I don't know. I don't know if this is for the whole campaign or if this is for... No, there's only 1 Elder Sign. Yeah, this might be for the session. So we drew 11 squids. There's no way we drew 11 squids that turn. I don't even know if we did 11 tests. Anyway. If these are right, like 11 squids. Anyway, that's about do this for this video. I hope to see you all in the next one, Where Doom Awaits.